When does life begin? That's a question that's debated in our world today, especially with all the talk about abortion. People are asking, when does a human being become a human being? When does life begin? Of course, as Christians, we don't want to know what everyone else thinks. We want to know what God says in His Word. Does the Bible say when life begins? The answer is absolutely. In Psalm 51, verse 5, King David wrote, "Surely I was sinful at birth, sinful from the time my mother conceived me." As David thought about his own life, he says his life didn't just begin when he was born. He says his life actually began when he was conceived. From the moment that sperm and egg came together and God allowed it to form a living being, that was David. That verse, David gives us an even deeper truth. He says he was sinful from the time his mother conceived him. That meant that the moment that little David, unformed inside his mother's womb, came together, he realized he was already sinful. He received a sinful nature from his mother and father. From the moment of conception, David was a real live human being. From the moment of conception, David needed God and God's salvation. David writes about that in another place in Psalm 139, verse 13. David states this in a positive way. He says, "Surely you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb." In that verse, David is picturing himself hidden inside his mother's womb. But notice what he calls that little living thing inside his mother's womb. He said, "You knit me together in my mother's womb." David knew that before he was born, before he had any recollection of who he was a real human being. He was a creation of God. And I hope you realize what a wonderful message that is. An unformed baby growing inside his or her mother's womb isn't an accident. It's not something that's just here by chance. It's a creation of God. Life begins at conception. It's verses like these from the Bible that encourage Christians to stand up for life. Abortion isn't God's plan for a life that He's created. Life begins at conception. Every time God allows a human life to be conceived, that's a life that God cares about. That's a life that God created. Christians are for life, beginning at conception. If you'd like to hear more answers to difficult questions from God's Word, please like this channel and follow along for more devotional videos. God bless your day.